Mm.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Hello? Am I all alone here? Oh, okay. I saw a sign that you can hear me. Okay. Welcome. This is our first lesson. Thank you very much for the answers. And we are going to learn Java programming language. It will be a long month. It will take a few lessons, of course, to learn how to do programming. And this is the first session, I believe. After that, I'm not sure what will happen for now, but we will be together. No matter what, we will be together for a month. Thank you very much for joining. And before everything else, if everybody is here, I want to introduce myself. Okay. I am a mechanical engineer. I have also a master degree in international relations. I have been in programming uh, for approximately 4 years, but not as a professional. Uh, I was creating a game. Actually, I did create a mobile game. It's very hard to find, and it's not very popular, but it is still on Google Play. And I have also an RPG, if you know PC games, but I couldn't be able to finish it. Creating a complex game needs a really great team, but all alone I couldn't be able to finish it up. So still, I'm proud of it. One day I decided to take a professional education. I was creating those games as a hobby. I didn't expect any income from it, uh, but in time, I saw that uh, that makes me happy. Creating something makes me happy. So I decided to take a professional education, just like you do. But of course, mine was a complete course, starting from the zero to end of it. It was a boot camp, and I have completed it. And right now, I am in front of you. As I told you, I am a mechanical engineer. I have worked in different companies. And at the end, one day, I, I decided to become or enter IT world. And that world took me here. I think it's enough. I have also worked as a private English teacher for a few years, but don't worry about it. Okay. Yes, today will be our first day in IT world. So let's see the first slide. Yes, I think most of you starting IT today, and this is your first day in IT world or world of IT, doesn't matter. When I think back, it feels real nostalgic. I saw this message when I started IT education. It was same message. It was there for me, and it was a really great day. And I'm really proud of myself to decide to join this education. when I was starting the education, of course. Right now, I'm also proud of that day, but that day was really different for myself. For me. Yes, let's start with important reminders. I want to say a few things. Lesson begins on time. Today we started a few minutes late, I think, but it was because of a sound at the outside. I waited to pass, and after that I started the lesson. But after today, always lesson will start on time. We will have our lessons on if I remember, today, what was day? Wednesday, and on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 4 days in a week, we will have our programming language lessons. And it will always start at 8 p.m. In Turkish time. So you can prepare before the lesson. If you ask me, it's one of the most important things you should do before the lesson. But there's something more important than this one. You should repeat the lesson. I mean, by repeat, I mean you should review the lesson. But of course, I will share this slide with you. You can check the slide. You can also ask Google, or there are a lot of AI in internet waiting for your questions to answer. You can also use those AIs, or just use Google and enter the or write the subject. Google will gladly answer your questions. And by reading a few text files or document, or by reviewing a few websites, you will be able to prepare yourself before the lesson. But as I told you, reviewing lessons is more important. I always like to have an active class. I expect you to ask me whatever you have in your mind without any hesitation. Please ask me any question because I'm trying to explain everything in a live session, and we should eat the fruit from those lessons. And this gives us a great opportunity to ask our questions. This is a live session, right? So you should ask your questions, but please do not use your microphones. Instead, use Slack channel. And this is the Slack channel, and this is the live channel, and you should write here. Please ask your questions here. I will be following this channel, so I will be able to see your questions there. Also, we have perhaps if you are watching it from YouTube channel, I will try to follow that channel too. I can write your questions on YouTube chat panel. A second, please. Okay. Yes, you can ask your questions from YouTube too if you are watching it from there. But as I told you, it's very important to ask questions. If nobody asks questions, it means nobody understood anything. Most of the time, it's like this. If I can see no questions, no question there, it means I couldn't be able to explain it well. But still, if there's no question, I will continue. So be sure to ask your questions. Also, it makes the class funnier. I prefer having that kind of class. Yes, Here, of course, I will write a lot of code in the lesson. I will use IntelliJ, and you should have IntelliJ too. And you are going to write same code in your computer. But there is a difference here. I did not explain here, but I will try to explain the priority here. Priority is understanding. First, you need to understand. If you cannot type the code fast enough, and if it is preventing you from understanding me, you should not write it. You may watch the same video after the lesson or tomorrow and write the codes yourself from that rewatching. But I prefer, if you can do it, you should write the code with me. But if it prevents you from understanding, you do not you should not force yourself to write it. Instead, focus on understanding the lesson. Understanding logic is more important. But I always say that if you not write the code, even though it seems very easy for you, if you do not write it, you will forget it. I can assure you, it is always like this. I am talking from the experience. If you don't write it, you will forget it. It seems like it is like a muscle memory. If you want to be a coder, you have to use your fingers and keyboard. Otherwise, you won't be able to remember that. You have to use those tools to learn it with your muscles, or you should swallow it by practicing. I will try to explain this part in detail in this lesson, but for now, let's go to the next one. Yes, it's very important. You have to repeat the lesson or review the lesson. You do not need to, oh, sorry, there's something here. Okay, here. Oh, I see. Yes, you have to repeat the review the lesson after the lesson. That's very important, and you have to write it. When we watch sport clips or lessons, to lose weight, or you cannot do it by watching the videos. Instead, you have to do the sport yourself. If you do not do the sport, you won't lose anything. By watching, you are not going to lose anything. So it's like this. Coding is like this. You have to write the code yourself. If you do not write it, you will forget it. To be successful in this education, education is very important. I will try to give you everything you need in this job. If you want to be a tester, I will try to give you a comprehensive education. Don't worry about that. You are going to learn everything you need in this session. But to be successful, education is not enough. This is a long education, normally long course, but we have short time. Actually, this course should be 2 years course, but instead we have only 6 months. So this is a very short time, and you have to be working during this time. Yes, I know this is a free session, and it will take only 1 month. But if you plan to continue the education, it is a long journey, which takes 6 months. And in this during this time, you have to work hard yourself. Just education won't be enough. If you only watch the videos and do nothing after that, uh, that's very hard to be successful after the 6 months. So you have to work hard. And there's a question, login data. I think to join the Slack channel, you need to check your emails. I'm not sure. Please get in touch, customer support or technical support for the details. I'm not sure how to help you about the channels, but please install the Slack, or you can use it on a browser too. But you should write the questions from the Slack, not the Zoom. I won't be able to follow the Zoom channel. Okay. And to be successful, another thing is you should work or study as a group. You know, at first, from our education, I know from our childhood, we like to work alone. But in IT, it is totally different. IT means team. If you want to continue in IT world, you will see there will be always a team and you will be part of it. All alone, you cannot do anything. And actually, it has a lot of different advantages, but we do not know that. Yes, from our education, we were always alone, and we do not know how to work as a group. Of course, you may know it, but I'm talking about the general situation here. So you should do group work. You should study with your friends. It can be 5 people or 10 or more, or even 2 is enough. If you are working with your friends, you will see it will be easier for you to understand the task or topic or the question. Just try. After a few attempts, you will see it has a lot of great benefits for everybody. You know, I want to give an example here. For example, I cannot understand something. To understand it, I have to check Google and documents, slides. Perhaps I may have to watch the videos again and again to understand what's missing. And even so, you may not be able to understand it. But if your friend knows it, he or she will be able to explain it in 5 minutes. Believe me, only 5 minutes. Only in 5 minutes, he or she will be able to explain the problem to you, and you will solve it in 5 minutes. Otherwise, it may take days to solve it. And I'm not talking about the lose of the motivation in that time. You are going to work hard to learn something so simple, and it may take days from your life. But if you do study as a group, you may be able to learn it in a short time. So it is really important. I want to underline group work, group studies. And of course, first, when you are studying, first you need to solve the questions I have solved in the lesson. That's very important. Just try to solve. First, you should not solve a different question. Start with the questions we have solved. And if you can solve them without looking the solution, don't worry, in IT work, you can always check the solution. But if you cannot write it, if in the first attempt, if you couldn't be able to write it by yourself without looking the solution, try it again. Just write it by looking. And the second time, you should be able to write it without looking, or in the third time. If you can write it without looking the solution, it means it's okay. Right now, you know it. But don't worry, after a few days, you may still forget it, but it is there. Even though you think you have forgotten it, it will be still there when you need it. You will be able to use it. Okay. Do you have any questions? Please do not hesitate to ask anything. I will be glad to answer them. Even thoughts about those things. No questions? Okay, for the first lesson, you can use the Zoom channel. I will be checking that too. Let me check the YouTube account. No questions there too. Okay, let's continue. It means I covered everything without any problem. At least I hope so. Okay, someone here. Yes, please, for today, you can use the Zoom channel, but after today, I may not be able to check the Zoom channel, so please use Slack channel. But for today, it's up to use Zoom channel. Okay, still no question. Even thought I gave you a lot of different opportunities. No questions. Okay, let's continue. First, I want to show you how to use Slack, but I'm not going to give you required to enter it, of course, but I will try to show. First, it's important how to use the live channel here. As you can see, we are going to use this channel to talk and for your questions. If you want to mention something, you can write it here, but please do not use it like a fan channel or a fun channel. Everything you write here should be about the lesson or it should be about the topic we are trying to understand. But you can write anything here, any question. If you have an idea or suggestion, you can write it here. It's open channel. Just write everything here, as long as it's about the lesson. Okay, I will share my codes here from this channel. Please do not share anything here. It belongs to me. I will share my codes here. So when you need it, you can come back here and click on this channel. You will be able to find all the codes I have written during the lesson. It's very important. If you write a lot of things here, it will block and there will be a lot of text messages, and it will be hard for you, for others to find the codes. So if you want to ask something or say something, use live channel here. Announcements will be here, and so blah blah. It goes on like this. One more thing, for example, somebody asked a question here, like this guy, me, and you want to answer just him. You do not need to write it directly here. If you want to answer this guy, example, you can use this button, sorry. It won't disturb the others when you use it. For example, I will answer my question. Thank you very much. For example, here, it is not showing it, but I know there is a reply about this message. But without disturbing others, I could be able to answer my message here. And if I click on it, I will be able to see it, of course, here. But it won't disturb the other messages. One more thing, if you have a really long message, doesn't matter, perhaps you want to share a code or something like this, here, please do not write it like this. Instead, if you mistakenly do it like this, please delete it from here. Click on this one where it is delete message. It's here. Delete it and use snip text. Here it is, created text snippet. I will you can write it here. So even though you have used a lot of lines here, it won't disturb others like this. It will show only this part of it. If somebody else wants to see it, he or she will click on it, and detailed information will appear here. But this way, we are not going to disturb others when you use Snippet. Click plus button and use this one. Create text snippet if you want to share something long. It can be a code or something else. Okay. Going back to the slide. Oh, yes. Please do not share anything other than the topic covered during the lesson. It's very important. If you share unrelated things, it will disturb others, really. And we do not want to disturb others. You know, I was talking about the teamwork. So we are a team, even though the perspective is a little different. We are a team. We are trying to learn something here, and we don't want to disturb other team members. It's very important. Yes, by advanced questions, I mean, for example, I am trying to explain something very simple, and you have a question about that, which is a little advanced for the topic. Please do not ask it. For example, you know something about IT, or you have an IT background, you know a few things, and you want to learn faster, of course. It's very normal, but usually there will be a lot of people who are having their first day or they are facing the topic first time. It will be very complicated for them to understand advanced questions. So please do not try to ask advanced questions during the lessons. Believe me, in time, I will try to answer all the questions, and I will try to teach you all the necessary things during the course. Okay. Yes, it's very important. You know, we should be kind to others. We have experience about that. Some people couldn't be able to be kind. It's very hard to explain. You know, I mean, we should be kind during the course. You know, everybody should. Of course, we must express our feelings within the rules without disturbing others. If you ask me, it's one of the most important rules here. We should be kind to everybody, to me, especially to me, and to our friends. Yes, I have tried to explain how to use snippet while sharing codes. It's the same for the long text or something like that. Please use snippet to not to disturb others. Yes, if you have a problem with the code, not try to explain it by writing, just take a screenshot. I hope you know how to do it. Perhaps you can use print screen or start button shift S. You can use those buttons, but most of the time using print screen button is easier to take a screenshot from your computer. Print screen button is in your keyboard. You can find it, or if you don't know it, just write it on the Google where the screen print screen button, and Google will answer you happily. Yes, instead of trying to type it, just take a screenshot and share it from the Slack channel. Yes, it's one of the important ones. You know, you should follow the lesson. I will try to answer all the questions. If I forget to answer a question, please ask it again. You can write it again on the Slack channel until I see it. You can write it again and again and again without starting others, of course. And I will try to answer all the questions. But sometimes people ask same questions twice or more. It might be boring for everybody. If I have already answered the same question before a few minutes ago, it will be boring for me too and for others. So follow the lessons and try not to ask same questions again and again. You can ask me any question, of course, but if it is technical, please ask question to technical support, which is here. As you can see, we have a technical support channel here. You can use it to ask your technical questions. By technical, if you want to install a program, or if you don't know it, if you face a problem during the installation, you can use this channel problems like that, for problems like that. Okay, I think we have covered how to use Slack. It's very important, mainly for the messages. We are going to use this Slack program. It's totally free, don't worry. You can use it. You should have a link in your emails, which email you have used to register for this course. There should be an email, but I'm not sure. If you cannot see it, get in touch with your customer support, and they will help you for it. Oh, yes. We will start on time. Always, we will try to start on time. At first, in the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I'm not sure, I will try to review previous lesson. So it will be a good review for everybody. We will try to remember everything from the last lesson, and it will take approximately 10 minutes. It can be shorter or longer, of course, but don't worry. I will try to cover everything in that time. Oh, yes. Natalia says can't find the Slack channel is showing. Okay, let me check it again. Your channel should be 123, and you should have those channels. If you cannot see it, if you have already installed the Slack, you won't have those channels. If you do not have the invitation, but if you cannot see those channels, just click on this add channel, browse channels, and you will see all of different channels here. I have already joined all of them. You need to join them. Okay. Let's continue. Yes, and on each topic subject, we are going to have a test. Of course, we do not give marks, so don't worry. It will be a test to review the lesson or to see ourselves in action. But it won't be after each lesson. I will give you, I will give you the address. It's called Socrative. We are going to have 20 text or shorter. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the number. We are going to have a test. I will compare the results. When I show it to you, you'll understand better. Just know that we will have a test after topics and subjects. When we end it, we will have a test. You will have time, and I will share the link with you before the lesson. I will give you a few hours to complete the test, and I will try to solve them in 15 minutes at the beginning of the lesson. And if you have any question about that task or test, I will try to answer them. So don't worry. And by this one, we will be able to reviewing same lesson twice. First, we will be reviewing the lesson at the beginning of each lesson, and with this test, we will do a short review on the same topic. Okay, today's question is, what is a programming language? If possible, may I receive your answers? For you, what a programming language is? Can you answer that question, please? I will wait for a few minutes for you to answer that question. What is a programming language? Don't use Google, please. Here it is forbidden. You can always use Google, but not here. I want to hear your words or see. So far, nothing. Okay. Still nothing. Okay. Let me check YouTube too. There's a hope there. Oh, yes. Thank you. It's a language that computer understand. That's correct. Thank you very much. You know, if computer cannot understand our orders, you know, we will tell computer to do something. We will force it to follow our instructions, but we should know its language. We are giving the orders, but if computer cannot understand us, it means nothing. Thank you very much. It's a language that computer understand. That's a great answer. Yes, it's a programming language to tell computer what we want it to do. We are going to use the algorithms. Don't worry, it's very similar. For example, let me show you something. If I ask you a question like, please find the shortest one, what would you do? Usually, human brain will try to compare them, right? For example, you will take this one. Oh, this one is shorter. Oh, this is the new shortest. You will compare it with the, oh, this is the shortest one right now, when I check the third one. When I compare it with the fourth one, oh, this is not the shortest. No, this is not the shortest. Still the shortest one here. It is same. Just this is an algorithm. It's a logic. You will find the logic and you will do the same thing. Just you need to tell computer how to do it. Computer, take this one and compare it with the second one. If the second one is shortest, delete the first one. Now it is not the shortest one. This one is the shortest one. And again, compare it with the next one. Which one is shortest? Oh, this is the shorter. So now the new shortest is the last one. Compare it with the next one. Oh, this previous one is the shortest. Okay, this is not the shortest one, not the one. So this is the one. This is an logic, and we will tell a computer how to do it. That's very simple. Don't worry about it. But I believe it's a good example, but I'm not sure if it is the best one. Okay, but we should know how to tell, how to explain our instructions to computer. That's called programming language. If you know how to tell, computer will happily, gladly follow our instructions. Yes, you know, data, I think you know this word, but most of the time people do not know what data is. So actually, everything is a data. I mean, when you see a picture of a man or a woman, it's a data. When you see a moving car, a video or something, it is still a data. When you see pink or different color, These are data. I try to explain it very simple way, but music, videos, colors, everything is data. When you visit Amazon.com, everything you see in a website is actually data. Everything is data. It can be a sound, a movie part, a picture, anything, or a text. And we are going to tell a computer how to work or operate on this data. That's called programming language. There will be data, and we will do something with that data. Okay. Yes, thanks to programming language, we can control the output. This is a computer, it can be used for a lot of different things, and data will enter here, and different data will be a kind of output. Still, it's a data, but this is output, and this is input. Actually, a computer calculator is also a computer, and let's say our calculator is doing addition, and I will enter two different datas here, 4 and 5. When I enter those datas, the result output data will be 9. This part is the computer part. This part where somebody else created a program using a programming language to calculate this result. You have entered two different data and you received one data, but it did the job, right? Okay. Everything is data, and by using programming language, we can rule data. Yes, we can communicate by using programming language. Oh. So that's a very good example. I will try to explain things with comics. Here there are two Indians. One of them is asking, "Can you read and burn?" The second one is saying, "I can burn, but I cannot read." It means you can burn something, but if you cannot read it, what they mean, if you cannot understand what they means, it means nothing. So you can write a lot of things, but computer cannot understand your orders. You wrote, "Please make the calculation for the 4 and 5. Find the result." If computer cannot understand, if you write it like this, computer won't be able to understand you. You should write things. So here it's a good example for that. The second one, as you can see, somebody is creating them, and you can see that it is understood by the computer. Oh, it has been read. As you can see, computer understood what they mean, and it will follow the instructions. It's very important. It's very important to know that computer can understand what we are telling it to do. How we are going to do that? We are going to learn it in real life, not in comics. But we should know computer can understand us. Yes, here the old one, I think he is old, asking, "Can you understand this message?" Here, computer is the train, and computer is giving us a message. The other one says it has a lot of technical stuff. You write your code, and when you try to run it, computer may give you a lot of technical messages, explaining something, of course. For example, it will explain you an error or it will show you something in that message. We should be able to understand it. It's also very important. For example, especially for the errors. If there's no error, we won't mind the message. If it's working, it's fine. But if there's an error, computer will try to explain the error. If you can understand it, easily we'll find the error and fix it. Otherwise, it's really hard to find the error if you cannot understand that technical stuff. Yes, we should be able to understand the results or the messages created by the computer. Okay, it's enough for the comics. If I can find how to clean it, okay, I did. Let's continue. Yes, briefly, we are using programming language for the communication between humankind and computers. That's all. If you can understand each other, we can do anything. So I want to ask you, we have to follow the rules. Then, who is the boss here? We or the humans, humankind, or computer, or Java? Who is the boss? Human, yes, of course, we are the boss. But uh, Java sets the rules. It's very important. And we have to follow Java and computer rules. If you follow those rules, they will follow without questioning it. They will follow our instructions. Still, we have to follow the rules. Just like in a family. You can who is the boss, who sets the rules, there's always a conflict there. I'm not going to answer that part, but still, between computer and humans, humans are still boss. Yes, of course, computers do what we say, so it means we are the boss. But yes, we have to write the codes the way computers can understand. This is a screen. We are going to use the screen to write our code. And here we have a few things here. But before explaining this complicated part, I want to have a 10 minutes break time. Then we will continue. Don't worry, we will have 2 hours for today, 15 minutes for the lesson and 10 minutes for the break time. And now I will start our break time. Thank you very much and see you after 10 minutes. Hello again, welcome back. And if you don't have any question, I couldn't be able to see any question in the channel or YouTube or Slack, so I will continue without any hesitation. Yes, we were talking about the programming languages, and the last thing I told you was computer should understand us. How it happens, if you're familiar with the computers, actually in computers everything is 0 and 1. There's nothing else. 0 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1. Everything is consists of 0 and 1. There's numbers. So how it happens, we will write a code like this, and computer cannot understand it. Computer can only understand from that there's numbers. Every number means something for computers. The oldest computers were built like this, and still we are using same design. Binary code. Thank you very much. And I guess, yes, it's binary code. And we are going to write a code like this to do something, but somehow computer will be able to understand us. Computer and Java, actually Java handles that part. We write a code using Java like this, and this JDK, Java Developer Kit, handles that part. It translates our code to binary code like this. A code that computer can understand. Otherwise, we cannot communicate with computers. Java, by using Java Developer Kit, changes our codes to a binary code like this. And when it does, when we send the binary code to computer, we can force it to do what we order. The computer will follow the instructions, process the work. Actually, it's processing that binary code. It's very important. Just you should remember the logic. We write the code by using Java. Java, by using something, don't worry about it, turns it, changes it to binary codes like this, and it will be sent to the computer, so computer will calculate the result. It will process whatever we ask it to do. Shortly, briefly, that's it. So, actual computer language is binary code. The language we learned is Java code. It's very hard to write things by using binary codes. Don't try it. I'm sorry. So we use, because of writing, using binary code is very hard, we use programming languages to communicate with computers. Okay. But there are a lot of different programming languages, like C++, C#, JavaScript, Java, and different other programming language. Even me haven't heard a few of them. So why did we choose Java? I want to show you that. Why Java? Java created in 1995 as a high-level programming language. High-level means you can do anything with this programming language. Yes, it has a few disadvantages because of being high-level. But there is no limit. The only limit is your imagination. If you can imagine it, you can do it by using Java. Java is like an ocean, and we are going to see only a drop of it. When you dive into it, you will see Java has no limits. You can do anything. And yes, from 1995, it has continued to improve itself. There are now out of different versions of Java, and we are going to use a version of it. There are not too much difference between them, at least for us. So we are going to use Java, and it's also object-oriented programming. You will wonder what object-oriented, what it means. Yeah, it is something like that. Let me explain with my perfect drawing. Object-oriented means, let's say we are creating a website like Amazon. I'm sorry. It has a lot of different features. I can see it's very hard to read, but still I am saying it's Amazon, so don't worry. Yes, Amazon has a lot of different features, and it's very hard to code it lonely with only one person. So a lot of developers are working in this Amazon web page. But how they work? For example, somebody will create a seller page. Somebody will create buyer page. And somebody else will handle the payments. These are the objects. Of course, it's not as simple as this, but it's called object-oriented. People will create different parts, and at the end, just like a Lego toy, you mean, when you put them together, you can create something bigger. I mean, object-oriented means you are going to divide the work to little pieces. For example, this one will be handled by Ahmed. It will prepare this part, and the other will prepare another one, and the third person will create some other feature of the website, and they will be able to be used together. When you put them together, we could be able to create a bigger part, a real project. I do not need to draw those things, but to show it's a Lego part, I wanted to print them and draw them here. But as you can see, object-oriented means this. We are going to create little objects, just like a Lego part, and when we put them together, we will create the real project, and it will work, hopefully. Yes, actually, let me go back. Java is one of the easiest programming language to learn. Not the easiest one, I can say that, because it has a complex structure. Sometimes this comprehensive language makes it a little harder to understand, but most of the time you will see it's very easy to learn. When you learn a programming language, it doesn't matter which one it is, it will open a lot of different doors for you. It will make it easier to learn other programming languages too. When you got the logic, when you got how it works, it will be much more easier to learn other programming languages. One of my friends was applying a job, and they weren't using Java. He knows Java, but the company knows, I'm sorry, company, for example, using C#. It's not important. When they know, Java, they will know this too. They will also know it's very easy to learn other programming language. You can easily switch to other programming languages. Of course, it takes 1 week or 2 weeks, so don't worry. And yes, Java is very easy to learn and it is reliable. It is the one of the most important thing for the job. It is reliable. When you ask it to do something, it will follow your instructions without any problem. The second one, yes, I'm not sure if it's still most used programming language in the world, but I am sure that it is the one of the most used programming language in the world. They say 3 billion mobile devices use Java. Yes, I know. When I say Java, you remember old days. If you are old enough, when we were using Java in our programming language, it's not like that. Actually, all Android devices uses Java structure at base. So I can say that all Android devices are using Java. And in USA, 97% of the company computers are using Java, and personal computers, 89% of the personal computers use Java. I'm not sure about the numbers. Perhaps they have been changed in time, but still, it's a really great number. And even the fridge, some models are using Java to work. And most of the time, if I remember, readers, recorders, players, most of them are still using Java. And some very popular applications, such as LinkedIn, Uber, Netflix, are based on Java. And in Turkey, I know a devlet is using Java programming language. They have been created by using this programming language. So it has very high usage. It's one of the most used programming language in the world, and it will open, hopefully, a lot of different IT doors for us. It's safe and secure. There's a great example for this one. Let's say we want to send a rocket to moon. Would you use cheap products, unsecure and unsafe? No. If you are planning to create a great project, you will use the safest and the securest one. That's very important. And Java is safe and secure because there's a great company behind it, named Oracle. And this Oracle company supports Java. It continues creating new versions of Java, better and better every day. So it is very important to have a safe and secure programming language. 4, it is platform independent. What it means? It means you can write the code in Windows and you can run application in Linux or Mac computer without any problem. Because Java will work in every operating system without any problem. You can execute your code in Windows, Mac, or Linux, and without any problem, you will see the results. And the last one, it's my favorite. It is free, totally free. We can do whatever we want with this great program without paying anything, not a penny. It's free, totally free. There's another website if you want to watch it. You can learn why we are choosing white Java. It is explained very detailed there. You can check it if you want. Yes. Another one, Java runs on the concept of object-oriented program. It's very important if you ask me, because when we create a Lego part, we can use it a lot of times. We can use same Lego part to create a lot of different great arts programs. I don't know. In Java, you are going to code small parts, just like I explained before. And when we compare, integrated them, when we put them together, we will create the vault run. We will create the real application. Think about it. When you try to write everything in a class, in a paper, it is really hard. If you try to write everything in the same page, it's very hard to follow and create it. But when you create it like this, firstly, entering part and calculating part, result part. When you do it like this, it is much more easier to understand, and you can easily put them together to form. And it's called object-oriented program. We are creating the objects, all of them are, each one of them is an object, and when we put them all together without any problem, we can create the bigger application or bigger project, real project. Here, all those parts has been created in the factory, and when we put them together in different ways, we can create different things like this. Object-oriented programming is exactly same. You will create a part, and you can use it in a lot of different places to do different things, just like a Lego. We will create those objects, and we will use those objects to create different things. Yes, we can do something like this. Of course, not. At least not with Java. You have to buy the Lego. But the logic is same. For example, you will create this object, and you will use it again and again to do something like this. Okay. Yes, to do something with Java, first we need to create the object. When you create the object, you can use that object wherever you want to create the project. And each object has two different type of properties. I'm not going to enter this topic. It is a little hard to understand at this point. But for example, variables. Those variables can store color, number, pins like this, things like this. And we also have a functionality named method. Those methods will change a little according to data we enter. They will be little machines. It will be a little machine to do what we have ordered to do. I'm not going to explain them. Don't worry. If you couldn't be able to understand it, don't worry. Because I couldn't be able to explain them. It takes a lot of time to explain them. So don't worry about this part for now. If you could be able to understand what object is, that's more than enough. Yes. How do we create an object? Actually, just like there's Lego parts, to create an object, you need a mold. First, we need to create a mold to create an object. When we create a mold, I will explain later, of course, how to do it. When we create a mold, we can create same object again and again by using that mold. And that mold is called a class in Java. We are going to create class, and from that class, we will create objects. Yes, if we have a mold, we can create as many objects as we want from that mold. And we will combine those objects to create the application we want. Yes, to create object, we need a class. If there is no class, it means we cannot create an object. Yes, without any class, we cannot create an object. Okay. Yes, this is a basic class, you know, public class, and this part is the name. This is the definition, and this is the access modifier. Don't worry about it for now. This is the declaration. It's about the naming and a few properties of the class. The thing here, you should remember this part. This part is the name of the class. And that's with different colors explaining a few properties of this class. But don't worry about it for now. This part is the declaration, and this part is the name with the black color. Curly braces, you know, after the declaration, you have to open and close. You have to enter opening and closing curly braces. It's very important. It means class starts from here and it ends here. Whatever I write here will be in this class. Don't forget to follow those braces. It's very important to be able to enter them. At first lessons, you will see a lot of problems will come from here, from those curly braces. And the last part is between those curly braces, we call it body, the body of the class or class body, whatever you say. We are going to enter our codes here. We are going to write whatever we want between those curly braces. That's all about the class. Let me review everything. You do not need to memorize anything here. In IT world, you do not memorize anything. Don't worry about them. This is the declaration, naming, and a few properties of the class. These are the opening and ending of the class, limits of the class, and between them, it's called class body. We are going to write our code here. So, do you have any question for me? Questions would make me happy. It means you are listening and you are active and you are not sleeping. No questions? Let me check the. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not see. I did not see the questions in YouTube. My name is Mehmet, by the way. If you are still watching, of course. Okay, let's continue. There's no other question. Someone asked my name, even thought it's a simple question that made me happy. And yes, you know, let's review what we have learned. This is the declaration, you know. This part is the name of the class. The name of the class is Hello World. And these are the, if you don't worry about them for now. This is starting of the class, and where is the ending of it? Here it is. As you can see, it starts from here and it ends here. Of course, you will say, hey, there was other keywords here. Why did not you choose it? I can hear your questions because this one is about this little guy. It starts here and ends here. They have created something else in the class. Okay. Class level, class body starts here and ends here. This a different method starts here and ends here. Let's follow the instructions. You can write anything in the class body, you know, starting from here and until here. This is called class body. You can create variables like this and methods, different methods like this one, this little guy. Here we have other one. This one is the main method. It is the one of the most important method in Java. Everything starts from here. It means starting point. If you see a main method in the class, you should start from there if you want to understand what's happening in that class. How do we understand the main method it is? As you can see, the name here should be main. Blah, 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 main. And between normal brackets, as you can see, there is an argument. Don't worry about it right now. It is fixed in the main menu. Main method. If you want to create a main method, you have to write it between normal brackets. This structure is fixed. It doesn't change according to different things. It is always same. If you want to create a main method, you have to write it like this. As I told you before, don't try to memorize it. There's always easy way to create it. Don't worry. Yes, public static void main and between normal brackets, this argument. Whatever you write inside of it will be executed first. This is the starting point of your program, of this class. We are going to create out of main methods, so don't worry about it. Just know that if the name is main, it means it's main method and everything will start from there. These are the upper side is variables, and this one is also, these ones are also variables. I'm sorry. By variables, I mean little boxes to store something. For example, this little guy storing the student now, 2013. This is storing the name, and this is for the student, and it's the result is through it is students or his student. I don't know. RH mark is blah blah. And as you can see, first grade, second grade, and it goes on that way. Just know that these are variables. This is a method. We are going to create a lot of different methods. If you wonder what they are, don't worry, I will explain everything later. Okay. Main method is like an entry point. Everything will start from main method. When you create a main method, actually, you can execute your code. I'm really sorry for that. There's a problem. I don't know how to fix it. Yes. The main method is the entry point of the program, just like a motor of a car. When you see the main method, firstly, you should come inside of the main method and check the codes, because the first code in that class will be executed from the main method. The syntax is fixed. It's always created like this, but as I told you before, you do not need to memorize it. I will teach you how to create it easily. And you should not change anything from it if you want it to work. Don't worry about this parenthesis. It should be written, just remember it to write. Yes, if you do not create a main method in a class, we cannot see those little green triangles. If you want to run a class, you have to create a main method. It's very important. If you do not create it like this, for example, this is not a main method, as you can see, it's a different method. You can see from the name, there is no green button, which means we cannot run our codes. We cannot do anything with them for now. We are going to write a code today. We will create our first class today, so I will try to explain it there. But first, I will try to explain what IntelliJ is. We are going to use IntelliJ. Let me show you. This is IntelliJ. We are going to use this program to write our codes, and we will have a structure like this at the end of the course. And you will see we are going to do a lot of different things by using this program, and it's IntelliJ. Why do we use IntelliJ? Actually, we can write Java in a text file, or even some says you can use command line MS-DOS to write Java codes, but I'm not sure. I haven't done it before. I have always used IntelliJ, and it really helps us when we are trying to write our codes. It asks us, hey, do you mean that? Oh, yes, you are trying to do that. Please let me help you. Just like an UI, it helps us in everything. And it helps us to find the problems in our code. Actually, when you use IntelliJ, it makes you a little lazy, because most of the time, a lot of things are handled by IntelliJ. I will take it outside of the screen. Yes, most of the time, Java needs an IDE, integrated development environment, to run. Yes, there are a few different IDEs, but I prefer IntelliJ. I think it's best. It's the best of them. But you can prefer using different IDs, or you can try. But I'm talking from the experience. Just IntelliJ will be enough for you for a lot of different situations. And most of the time, you will see IntelliJ is being used nowadays. Yes, there are a lot of different IDs, but IntelliJ widely used in the world nowadays. Okay, after a long time, let's create our first project. If you see this kind of a screen, you will follow it like this. You will click on this file, new and project. If you have already installed IntelliJ in your computer, you can follow my steps. I hope you can see this screen in your computer. If you haven't installed it, don't worry, just ask our technical support, or write Google how to install IntelliJ to your computers. Easily you can install it. We are not going to do a lot of things today, just a few codes. You can cover it easily tomorrow when you review the lessons. Oh, by the way, if you have installed LMS system in your computer too, you can watch the video again from LMS. When it, let me show it. Here, there's LMS. I have already saved it here. Of course, you don't have it like this. Just ask technical support, they will help you. You will choose your number from here. You are here, I think. 1, 2, 3. And you will be able to see lessons stored, recorded here. Okay. Let's continue. Create our first project. Okay. To create our first project, file, new, and project. We are trying to create a new project. We will follow this project. So we will see a screen like this. For now, naming is not very important. I will write batch 1, 2, 3 Java. don't touch the location, don't touch this button. Just choose Java as a language, and build system should be IntelliJ. Don't touch GDK. If there is something here, don't touch it. This should be unclicked. It's very important. Do not add any sample code. It should be unclicked like this. Naming can be anything, but if you do not want to face problems when you are copying files from my project, you can use same name. It can be anything, but I'm not forcing you to write anything here. Just you can write anything here. Location, don't change it. Language, Java. Build system, IntelliJ. GDK can be anything. Don't worry about it for now. This should be unclicked. And click on the create button, and we will have our first project on the screen. Don't worry about it. You can choose any option as long as it's not canceled. I will choose new Windows for now. Oh, it is here. This is our project. We have our first project, as you can see, an empty project. It has nothing inside of it. Let's go back to the slide. Perhaps it can tell something for us. In your IntelliJ, it can be like this. If you see a screen like this, just click on the new project here. We are trying to create a new project. So when we see a new project button, just click on it. Here. You will see a screen like this. You can write anything in the name. Don't touch the location. That should be unclicked like this. Choose Java and IntelliJ. Don't touch GDK. And then click create button. That's all. That's all to create a new project. First, we need to create a package. It's very easy. If you know the Windows or Mac, I'm not sure which one you are using, it's like a folder. We are going to put our files inside of it. I will use this src folder, and I will right-click on it. I will choose new. Then from here, I was trying to create a package, so I will choose package here. Right-click on src, new, and package. And it's asking for a name, okay? This is day 01, entering Java. Yes, our first package is ready. But package is an empty folder. We are going to put files inside of it. So I need to create a class. We could be able to create our first package. Now it says right-click on src and select new package and type the name, select finish or press enter. It will be ready. Yes, now we are going to create our first class. The name will be Hello World. If I can find. I will right-click on it. I will choose new. I am right-click on the package I have created. New. And this time I will choose Java class. Right-click on the package you have created. New class. And it's asking for a name. Okay. Let's write CO1 Hello World. And I have my class. As you can see, this is the name of the class. These are the curly braces, starting and ending, and between them, the body of the class. It's very short distance. I will click on here, and I will press enter to create a place for my class. When I click on this little guy, as you can see, the ending also changing its color. It means this is the starting of this class and this is the ending of this class. If you double click it, it will show you starting and ending points like this. You know, there's no green button as you can see here, or as you can't see here. We need a green button to execute our codes. And to do that, we have to create a main method. It's very easy. IntelliJ will help us here. We do not need to write it all. I will write main. As you can see, directly a message appeared here. It's saying, do you want to create main method? Yes, I am. I will click enter, and without memorizing anything, it created my main method. And here, the one I'm looking for is here right now. I can execute my codes. I'm sorry. I can execute my code by clicking on this green button. Stage is ready. I only need some code here to execute. Okay, let's go back to the slide to see what's happening there. To create a class, we will right-click on the new package we have created and select new class, and we will type the name of the class and press finish or click and press enter. We have created the main method. You can use main or PSVM to create the main method. IntelliJ will help you to write the rest. But we have already created main method, so don't worry about it. Yes, now we have main method. We just need to write a code inside of it to do something. Okay, let's write a hello world on the system. To write something, we write sort. We use this sort command, and if you want to print something, I will write whatever I want to print between double quotes. Hello world. When I press this little guy, it will print hello world. Please run this class. And it will take time, of course. This is a long code, and executing it takes time. So after a few seconds, it will work, and we will see hello world. Here it is. Finally, we did it. Yes, without any problem, we could be able to write print hello world. This is the hello for the IT world, and don't worry, it won't. You are not going to stop it here. We are going to do a lot of fascinating things with this programming language. Yes, the first lesson, I don't want to bore you, so I did not explain things very detailedly. I know, but don't worry. I will try to explain everything you need in those lessons. If you continue until the end, I will try to teach you everything you need in the marketing, in the real world, in your company. I will try to explain what these things are after the break time. So let's have our break time right now, and we will continue after the 10 minutes. I will try to explain what these things are, every part of this IntelliJ program. Thank you very much, and see you after 10 minutes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Let's continue where we left. From where we left, we don't need this anymore, but still. Okay, this is the IntelliJ, the program we are going to use when we are writing our codes. I will try to explain a few things about it. This part here, this window, for the coding, as you can see, I wrote my code here. And if I had other codes, I would write them here too. This part is the coding part. This part is like a map. We can see where everything is. We can create our folders and we can create different classes here. I'm sorry, let me close it for a while. We can see everything here without any problem. This part is the console, named console, and we can see the output here. I mean, we write our codes here. I have executed it from here, and when I execute the code, this is the result. Console, actually, it is the result. Let me explain it with a different example. Let's say we are in front of an ATM and we want to take money from the bank. This will be ATM's screen. It will ask us to enter our code, password, or enter our card, a lot of things, perhaps the password, and there will be a lot of different things on the screen. Let's say we have inserted our card and entered the code and pressed the enter. There will be something. It will take a few minutes to calculate something. It is the coding part. Some codes will be executed in the system. The codes will be executed, and then it will print, hello, Mr. Mehmet, welcome to blah, blah bank, and please select what you want to do. When I center an option from here, when I select an option, another code will be executed. And according to selection, different code will be executed, and according to the selection, there will be another result on the screen. This screen is here, this part. I mean, whatever we see on the ATM's screen will appear here if we write ATM code. And we will, if we have time, if you continue the lesson, we are going to create a perfect ATM. So this part is the coding part. In the background of this ATM, actually codes are being executed, and here, even though we cannot see it, but we know it. Okay, I think this was a good example. At least I thought so. This is the ATM's code block, and this part is the screen of the ATM. Okay, let's clean everything. So, do you have any question for me? Anything? No, nothing. Oh. Okay. Let's continue from the slide then. I hope you could be able to understand. This part is for the coding, and this is the output or screen, whatever you say. The name of this part is console. This is the map of the project. Let's continue then. We did it, and we could be able to, we pressed this green button, and it has been executed. Okay. In coding, they say the best code is the working code. If your code is working, it means it is the best one because it's working. If your code is working, there's no problem there. Sometimes they ask me to check their codes, and the first question uh, from me is, does it work? If the answer is yes, it's a great work without checking anything from that code. Because if it is working, it means it's working. We do not need to check anything. But there's, of course, there's another, there's even a better situation. If your code is working and if it is understandable code, I mean, if somebody else comes to the company and tries to read your code, if he or she can understand it, it is better than working. So, how do we do that? If you want to enter a comment here to explain what you are doing here, you can use double slashes. We try to print hello, if I can type world to the console. That's explaining. This does not affect the code. This comment does not affect the code. You can write anything here. It doesn't affect the code because we have used double quotes. I'm sorry, double slashes. You can write anything here from the name, from the color. You can understand whatever you write. It doesn't matter, and it will still work. You will be able to see hello world. I have executed the code again to show you. Without any problem, we will be able to see hello world. Voila. But if I don't use it, and if I type it like this, as you can see, it will be red, and red means bad. If I try to run it, we will see an error message here. As you can see, it says this is not a statement. Get current box. When I delete it without any problem, it can be executed. If you want to write an explaining for the code you entered, you write, you should use double slashes. And actually, for each step in real coding, in real life, we should write and explain it. It's very important for the code. And you will see when you create a project, after a week, not a very long time, not after a long time, you won't be able to understand what you have written there. Even for yourself, you should enter a comment there to and explaining, so you will be able to understand what you have done there. If you want to enter on a single line comment, you should use double slashes. To enter a single line comment, we should use double slash. Well, sometimes you may want to enter a lot of lines, and you don't want to type double slashes in front of them. Just use slash and star, so you can write anything between them. It won't affect the real code. Just like this one, commenting multiple lines. Just you need to write slash and star, and at the ending, star and slash. Commenting on multiple lines. A comment comes from YouTube. Java is a little bit scary when you go too deep, too in depth, but nice work, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, it is like ocean, and we are trying to understand a drop of it, but still, it works. Logic is same for all the programming languages, so we can understand what we are doing. Okay. So if you write a comment for each step you are writing, it will be much more easier for everyone to understand what you have written there. And even for yourself, it's very important to write comments. From experience, you will understand it when you start creating projects. Yes. And believe me, it happened to me too. I couldn't be able to understand what I had created, written there. It took a rather long time for me to understand what I have created. It was working, but I couldn't understand how it is working. Yes, data. You know, we will always execute data. Sorry, a second, please. Okay, pardon me. We will always be working on a data, so data is very important. But from the previous lesson, I tried to explain what it is. You know, data is everything: numbers, words, measurements, observations, pictures, movies, text files, calculations, anything. Everything can be data, or a commercial website, application, a game, even a game save files. I can give a lot of different examples. Yes, it's a collection actually, collection of information containing a lot of things. It can be only one thing, or it can have a lot of different things. For example, you know, everything is one and zero in a computer. To create a picture with as numbers is rather hard. Actually, I believe, I'm not sure, you know, there are a lot of pixels in our computers, and every pixel has a different value, and there's values and pixel numbers are explained by those numbers, and all of them is data. And when you think about it, there are a lot of different data actually transferring in there. When you think about the internet, you know, we are sending data to satellite, and it's sending it back. It's answering. We always sending something else. We receive another data. It's very complicated. Don't worry about it. Just know everything is a kind of data. Yes, and the code we write will execute or process the data, and it will create another data. What we have done here in this code, this is my code. Java translated it to the binary codes 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 0, and computer executed those binary codes, and finally, as a result, I could be able to see hello world. As you can see, there was a lot of calculations here. It has been transferred to binary codes, and computer executed those binary codes, processed, or whatever you say, and then we could be able to see hello world on the screen. I hope I could be able to explain what data is. Let's continue. Yes, there are a lot of different kind of data, and every programming language has different data types. I will talk about them now. For example, Java uses different data types. Of course, we will also be using those data types. Yes, there are two different data types. The first one is primitive, from the Stone Age, and non-primitive data types, modern age. But I'm just joking. It's called primitive because they are very simple, but they are still very effective. Don't worry. So, booleans, it's a data type. We are going to use boolean data type in our coding. Char, characters, floats, integers, boolean, char, float, double, byte, short, integer, long, and from the non-primitive data types, for now, just try to remember string data type. It's for text typed data. Float means numbers, decimal, byte. Integers means whole numbers, integers, of course. And the capacity of these types are different. For example, byte can store only, if I remember correctly, minus 128 until the plus, or I do not need to write plus 127. Between those numbers, I can store any number in a byte. But if it is higher than 127, byte won't be able to store it because it will be over its capacity. Don't worry about it. We are going to learn them in the future. But for now, I wanted to explain a few things about them. Yes, every programming language has different types, but these are very similar. They might be a few different things about them, but you will see actually they are same if we compare them. Okay. Yes, sorry. We have a memory in our computer, and everything should be saved somewhere. If it is not saved, it means it is not there anymore. But of course, everything is saved in somewhere, and we will call it memory for now. And we know that for the computers, everything is 1 and zeros, nothing else. 1 0 1 1 0. It's called binary code. Each data takes a place in the memory. When you create a data, it will take its place in the memory. For example, this. When I see this, I always remember matrix. It's just like it. But actually, if we could be able to see those binary codes in our computer, it will be very similar. It will be very similar to matrix. Believe me. Yes. Every data will take place in the memory. Smallest data will be only one box, as you can see. One box can be 0, or it can be 1, of course. This is the smallest part. Actually, it means it comes from the electricity. This is a wire. When you send volt or electricity, if it can reach the end, it means it is 1. If somehow, if it cannot reach to the end, if it is like this is the end, it means it is 0. That's all. That's the logic behind of 0 and 1. If there's connection, it is 1. If there's no connection between starting and end, it is 0. It's very easy, right? And interesting if you ask me. Yes, let's continue. This smallest part of the memory is called bit. It can only contain 0 or 1. But it doesn't help us very much. Store 0 or 1. And to store something else, a greater number, for example, 3, which we cannot write it here, it becomes 1 and 0. For 0, it is 0. For 1, it is, sorry, for 1, if I remember right, it is 1. For 2, I'm sorry, for 2, it is 10. For 3, it is 11. And it goes on that way. For 4, it becomes 100. Yes, that's the logic. You can ask Google if you wonder how it works. But to store more complex data, we have to use more bits, more place. That's the logic behind it. Yes, for a byte, for example, it takes 8-bit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah, 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 8. It means you can store a lot of different data if you use 8 bits. And as you can see, byte can take, by using this 8 empty spaces, 128 different values. The first one is used for minus or plus. So I'm sorry, I couldn't be able to write it. First bit is used for plus or minus. So it's if you want to calculate them, you can 2 power 7. You can make the calculation, and this is the value of it. Okay. Yes, we can have a lot of different numbers, and it takes here we have other data types: byte, kilobyte, megabyte, and gigabyte. And because of this system, it is not 1,000 like gram. It was boring. Let's pass it. Don't worry about it. We are not going to see them. I just wanted to explain how a computer works. But you are not going to need it, of course. It's not about programming, just culture. Okay, let's continue. We have time. We will have this review in the next lesson. Yes, variables. Java uses data in the memory with the help of variables or objects. You can use variables to store data. And we will see an example. When I say it like this, it sounds a little hard, but don't worry, it's very easy. When I show it, you will understand. As I told you before, every data takes a place in the memory, right? And let's say we create a box. For example, I want to use a number, but first, I need to create a place for it. In programming, you cannot throw a number to screen. First, you need to create a place for it. Let's say box. This is my box. And this can store number. I will put 4 in it. When I decide to create a box, I have to mention that I will store numbers in this box. When you create it, you have to decide the data type. If it is number, you have to say it. Let's say I want to store integer inside of this box. You can store only one integer. It's very important. Let's say I will store 100 in this box. It's okay. Without any problem, you can store 100 in this box. This is the data type, integer. Data type means we are storing a number. I cannot store a text here. if I try to store a text in an integer box, it won't accept it because data type is a number and the text won't fit to this box. If I want to store a text, I should create a box for it. If you want to store a text, you should create a box for it and it will be string. Now I can store the text inside of it. It's very important. Before creating the data, you should decide the data type. It's critical. Here we have a few examples. For example, this box is created for integer numbers and 4 can perfectly fit in. This is for real numbers, with decimals. This is a char. Char means you can enter only one character. As string, you can enter a text. It doesn't matter what it is. Everything is a text. You can enter it. You cannot enter a decimal to integer box. It won't accept it. It's not created for that. When you create the box, it will take its place in the memory. Most of the time, it's like this. For example, I will give you an example. Let's say we are in the bank and we have rent a case. It has a log on it. It is a closed tax case. A locker, whatever you say. When you put $500 in it, it will have $500 inside of it. If I tell a bank to receive my money, they will give me $500, right? When I change the amount of the money, let's say I made it 600. When I ask the bank workers, employers, whatever you say, to give me my money, they will give me $100 US. Okay, keep that in mind, and I will try to explain something else. Now I'm not going to take the money. I'm just asking how much money I have. I have $500 inside of it, and in the first line, I asked how much money I have, and the answer was 500. And I changed the amount and made it $600. And then I again asked how much I have. They will answer me with 600 number. As you can see, at first I had 500, but when I asked the second time, the answer has changed because amount of the case has been changed. So it is very simple. Same with those boxes too. At first, there was a 4 inside of this box. When I ask a programming language, hey, what is the value of this box? It will give me 4. If I change it and if I make it 5, when I ask same question after making it 5, the result will be 5. It's very important. It's very simple. While you are explaining this, you will see why when we enter in the coding. So I wanted to explain that part. Okay. From now on, inside of this box, there's 5, only 5. The 4 is deleted from the word. So, if you briefly, shortly, if you want to store a value, first we need to create a suitable box, data type for it. And we should use a name. Every data box should have a name, different name. We cannot use same name for different boxes, for different data type, for different datas. It's very important. Every data should have a different name. And data type can be anything, of course, but according to data type, when you create it, you should decide it before storing the number, because if you create it for an integer, you cannot store a real number, a number with decimal. Okay. Let's create them. Let's create a few variables here. To that, I will create another class. I'm right-click on this package, new Java class. This will give me another class, CO2 variables. Now I have another class, and as you can see, body is too small. I will make it bigger. Between those curly brackets, I will write my codes. But to execute my code, I need a main method here. Main. Voila. Everything's ready. Let's create our variables. I'm planning to use store an integer. And integer means I can use this data type. I'm planning to use an integer. And the name of my box will be number. And the value of this number, you can write anything here, as you can see, but I prefer still number. The value of this number will be 111. This symbol means I have finished entering my data. Now I have a box. This is an integer box, and the name of it is number. Data type, name, and the value. Where is the value? Let's enter 111. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm saying 11, but I think 10. I don't know why. This is the value. Data type, the name, and the value of it. I will delete the name for now. Okay, we have the box, and inside of it, there's 111. I can use it whenever I want. Let's print it. South, to print something, we use this code. I will press enter, and now I will write directly the number. When I do it, I will see the number on the console. But I want to ask you here, when I write hello world, I saw hello world here. When I write number, what will be on the console? Can you say me? If I am not alone, I couldn't hear any question from you. What will be on the console when I execute this code? Oh, yes, thank you very much. It will be 111. Because actually, I'm not trying to print the number. I'm trying to print value of it. I'm saying print the number, and inside of this box, there is 111. So it will print 111. As you can see, 111. If I wanted to write the number itself, I should have written it between double quotes. Now, instead of writing the value of the number, it will directly print the number instead of the digital number. As you can see. If you write something between double quotes, no matter what it is, it will print it. It doesn't matter For Java, it is not important what you are trying to print it. If it is between double quotes, it will directly print it. If it is not between double quotes, it means you are trying to print a value of something. But there is no data with this name, so it will write. We should write number here, and it will print it. Okay, let's write a comment here. When we use double quotes, symbols, Java will print whatever between them, whatever is between them. If we directly enter a value or name, let's say name, in brackets, between brackets, system will print the value of it. As you can see, instead of printing the number, it prints the value of it. Okay, let's continue. I will try to create something else. I will write integer mark. For example, it is 99. It's very hard mark. If I want to print it south mark, it will print 99. As you can see, after writing 111, it printed 99. If I make it like this, if I do not assign anything, it is not complaining here, but here there is a red line under it. It means there's a problem here. When I move over my mouse to understand the problem, we should be able to understand the computer's messages to find error. It says variable mark might not have been initialized. It means we haven't assigned any value to it. To use it, we have to assign a value. If I change it, for example, here it has printed 99 because the value of mark is 99. If I change it now, mark equals to 50. Again, if I try to print it, same mark, what will be on the screen? I'm trying to print the value of the mark again. Yes, thank you very much. Of course, it will be 50 because here it has been changed to 50. Does it affect here? Will we see 99 or 50 here when I execute the code? It won't get affected because here it is still 99. Java codes start from the up to down, and it executes the code starting from the left to right. Let's see. In this line, we have created a mark, and the mark is 99. In this line, we want to print the value of the mark. Still, it is 99, so it will 99. Here, in the next step, mark has been changed to 50. After this point, when you try to print the mark, it will print 50 because in this line, it has been changed. Let's clean everything. Oh, what's that? And we will see at first there will be 99 and then 50 on the console. 99 and 50. As you can see, you can change it as much as you want. Here, in this part, we have created the mark and the box. This is an integer, and inside of it, there is 99. But after that, you do not need to mention it again because mark this box has been created for integer values. We will use same box without recreating it. And now, in this line, I changed the number and I made it 50. From now on, inside of this box, there will be 50. Okay. This part is the data type. If you want to store whole numbers, you can use integer. This part, the second part is the name. Name of the data we have created. And right side is the assignment. I want to assign 10 to this data box. I will put 10 inside of it, as you can see. When I write this code, I have created a box. It can store only whole numbers, and the name of this box is myInt, and I have stored 10 inside of it. Data type, variable name, assignment symbol, and value of the variable. Oh, of course, semicolon means that's end. This is the end of this line. Left side is the declaration here. Right side is the value. Declaration and value assignment. We have assigned a value to our variable we have created. Okay. Yes, we need a variable to store a data. If you don't create a box, you cannot store anything. To store something, first we need to create the box. Then you can assign different values to it. Data type and the name is enough to create the box. After creating the box, you can assign different values to it. This will create, when you write this code, it will create a box, a reserved memory area in the memory. So whenever we want, you can store a value inside of that box, that place. But here, we haven't assigned any value. It's a little hard to understand. We have created a box for integers, but there's nothing inside of it. Yes, when you create the box and then you can assign, you can make the assignment after this line. You do not need to do them all together. But if there is nothing inside of the box, you cannot use it, and it will be nonsense. There's nothing inside of the box, but I want to add a number to it. But it is empty. It's not zero. It's very important. You cannot add anything to nothing. Yes. When you assign a value to created box, 30 will be inside of this box. When you call it, when you write myInt, it means for the computer, it means for the computer, it means 30. This is the name of this data. From now on, when I say myInt, you will say 30. It's same for the computer. You can use different ways to make the assignment. For example, as you can see, this is integer at mark. It can store whole numbers. If you want to store a name, it means it's a text. You should use string data type. These are the data types, as you can see, and you can write a string text between double quotes. When I call from now on, when I try to print the name, it will print this name. Another data type, Boolean. It is interesting, but it can store only true or false. Nothing else. It can store on true or false. And if it is good for statements, as you can see, is student true. If it was false, it means it is not a student. Double means average mark. For example, if you want to use decimals, most of the time we will use double data type. You are creating the box before assigning it. Don't forget. First, we need to create a suitable place for our number or data. If it is a text, use string. If it's a decimal number, use double. If it's a whole number, you can use integers. We do not need to do both of them at the same line. As you can see, we have created the box here and made the assignment after that. But you can do the same thing in different lines like this. You can create the box, then you can put the number inside of it. We will create the box only once, but we can use it out of times, just like the example I have given you here. I created the box here and put 99 inside of it. But here I have used the same box again and changed the value to 50. You can use this box as many times as you want, but you can only create it once. You cannot create any box with same name. Let's create another box here. Integer mark. As you can see, it is complaining. It says variable mark is already defined in the scope. Scope means here. But if I change the name a little, mark 2, for example, it's okay. Let's calculate the average mark. Integer average mark is equals to mark plus mark 2. Or let's use it like this. Total mark. It will calculate the total mark. To calculate the average, I need to create another data type. Integer average mark is equals to total mark. I should divide by 2. And let's print the result. Sort average mark. I want to print it. As you can see, actually, I have created a code. When you enter the mark 1 and mark 2, it will make the addition, calculate some of them, and it will calculate the average mark, and it will print the average mark. Let's do it. Here it is. The first mark was 50, second one was 54. So average mark is 52. And you can also do a little cosmetic here. For example, after entering the mark, let's write an explaining. First mark is plus mark. So second mark is, then it will print the mark 2. And for the average mark, I will write an explaining before it. Average mark is it will print all of them. Oh, I do not need to print this one. Where it is? Here it is. I will make the comment. Let's run it again. As you can see, first mark is 50, second mark is 54, and average mark is 52. It is cosmetic, same thing, but it seems more beautiful this way. You can write an explaining before whatever you want to print. Just use double cuts for the explaining, and plus you want to the mark you want to print. That's all for today. Thank you very much, and we will continue on Friday, not tomorrow. It's very important. We will continue Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, and again next week we will start on Wednesday. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in the next lesson, and have a good night. My best wishes are with you. Thank you. Good night.